Hi, friends. Today we are reading two stories. The first one we're going to read is called And Then Comes Halloween. It is a story written by Tom Brenner. The second story we are going to read is one of my favorites. It is called The Costume Copycat, and it is written by Marianne McDonald. So we're going to put this back here because that's our second story that we're going to read. And we are going to start with this one called And Then Comes Halloween. This story, the illustrations are really cool because it's a collage. So it's different pieces of paper that actually make the picture. And all of the little pieces of paper have been glued together to form the picture that you will see in the story. And Then Comes Halloween, written by Tom Brenner, illustrated by Holly Mead. So I want you to really watch the illustrations and just look how beautiful the collage is. The collage, remember, is pieces of paper that have been all glued together to make a picture. When nighttime creeps closer to supper time, and red and gold seep into green leaves, and blackberries shrivel on the vine, then hang-dried corn, still in husks, all crispy, crinkly, and raspy, sounding like grasshoppers, when Papa stacks firewood under the eaves, and a V of geese squawks its way south, and chilly morning air turns noses pink. So the seasons are definitely changing here with this family. If you notice up here, the geese are flying south for the winter. They're in that V and they're flying south. Look what else is happening. Yeah. Looks like they're getting ready to celebrate a holiday, Halloween. So then cut out paper witches on brooms and dangle skeletons in doorways. So they put up decorations for Halloween where they live. You might have some decorations at your house too. When neighbors rake fallen leaves into piles, and the sky that is certain deep blue, and bins of pumpkins arrive at the grocery store, then bring one home and scoop and carve, and with lights out and a candle in, watch it grin or grimace or wink. What are they doing? They're carving their pumpkin, so they're going to carve it into a jack-o'-lantern. When autumn spiders weave silver webs from pillar to post, and the wind whispers winter, and the bones of trees begin to show, then it's time to decide what to be. Have your trees started to lose their leaves? I know our trees are losing their leaves. When I look out and I see our trees in the yard, I see the bones of the trees. Those bones are the sticks. And inside of one of our trees, when all the leaves are gone and all you see are the sticks, there's a nest inside of that tree. We can see the nest. So they're deciding what to be for what holiday. Halloween. Not all families and not all people celebrate Halloween, and not all families and people dress in costumes for Halloween. So this is something that this family does. Your family may be the same, but your family may also be different. When tombstones sprout on lawns like mushrooms, and ghosts swoop from trees, and scarecrows stuffed with leaves wave hello, then the cutting and the sewing and the pasting and the taping and the gluing and the painting must start. What do you think that they're going to be for Halloween? Check out those costumes. They're starting to make their costumes. I definitely know what that hat belongs to, but I don't know about this box. I'm very curious as to what his costume is going to be. There is our clue. Looks like he must be a robot. When the last day of October finally arrives and dusk settles itself around hedges and slips into the grass, and the ticks and the tocks of the clock take forever, then grab your bag or your bucket and sit and stand and pace and peep out the window and sit and stand again. Have you ever been so excited to go out trick-or-treating for Halloween, and it just seems like it takes forever for that time to come? It's finally here. This character she's got her bucket and is ready to go trick-or-treating. What do you notice about the sky? Yeah, it's getting dark. I hope it doesn't rain on them while they trick-or-treat. When Ballerina twirls up and Buckaroo trots up and Dragon slithers up to your door, all these people are coming up to the door. You might have some people coming to your door. Then run with your friends out into the night where the air rings with laughter and shrieks. Swirl from porch to porch and knock on doors to give the password. Do you know the password on Halloween night? Trick or treat. That's the password. You have to say that to get the candy. You can't just open the door and hold out your bucket or your bag. You have to say the password. Trick or treat. Oh, there they go. Dart past bushes, casting spooky shadows. Sweep past clumps of moaning monsters, and lug your bursting bag to the next house and the next. So you don't just go to one place to trick or treat. You go to a lot of houses. What does everybody give out? Mostly candy. Yeah. When you have plundered your block, and Ballerina tutu sags, and Dragon's tail drags on the ground, and even the pumpkins look weary, that means they're getting tired. Then it's time to go home. Look at that. Dump the bags of candy on the floor and eat some and count and eat some and trade and eat some and share before Dragon and Ballerina and Buckaroo go back home. So everybody's got their candy out. Do you count your candy after you get it? I bet you compare your candy to someone else's. If you have somebody else that lives in your house that goes out trick-or-treating, do you see if you have more candy than your brother or your sister? Mm-hmm. I know my sister and I used to do that. But then my mom would just take it all and put it in one big bucket. So it didn't matter who had the most candy. It all just went together in the end. And when your face is washed and candy is brushed from your teeth and goodnight kisses have been given, what time is it? After you do all these things, what time is it? Then slip into bed, draw the quilt up to your chin, and whisper to the darkness. Next year, goggles, a scarf, and wings. Goggles, a scarf, and wings. Goggles, scarf, wings. What do you think this character wants to be next year for Halloween? What would wear goggles, a scarf, and wings? Can you think of what that could be? I'll show you. Goggles, a scarf, and wings. I hope you have fun this year on Halloween. I know it's different, but I hope you have fun. I hope you get candy, and I hope you enjoy trick-or-treating, and don't forget to say the password. Now, this story is one of my favorites Kind of reminds me of me and my sister, because sometimes we would get along and sometimes we wouldn't get along. You might know somebody like that you get along with, and you might know somebody that you don't get along with. So this is Bernadette, and she's the older sister, and this is her younger sister, Angela. They always go trick-or-treating together, except for one time in the book, something happens and they can't trick-or-treat together. So let's read about the costume copycat. This book, The Costume Copycat, was written by Mary Ann McDonald, and the pictures are by Annie Wilsdorf. When Angela was 4, she wanted to be a fairy for Halloween. Her mama made her a pink tutu and wings. Mama also made a rabbit suit for Angela's big sister, Bernadette. So here they are. I'm kind of worried about her wearing that out for trick-or-treating. Is it cold where you live, where we trick-or-treat? I know it's cold out where I live when we trick-or-treat. I hope she doesn't get too cold. And look what happened. On Halloween night, Mama made Angela wear a jacket. Fairies don't wear jackets, said Angela. That's because they don't have mothers, said Mama. You'll freeze in just that tutu. If I have to wear a jacket, Bernadette has to wear a jacket, said Angela. Well, Bernadette put her jacket on under her rabbit suit, and she looked adorable. Everyone thought so. Check out Angela's face. So Angela's got her jacket on. Does it look like she's real thrilled about wearing that jacket? No. Doesn't look like she's too happy about it. Oh, look at that cute little bunny, said Mrs. Walker, their neighbor, who always gives out candy apples. She asked them to come inside so she could take their pictures. She snapped 2 of Bernadette and only 1 of Angela. Angela tried to make Bernadette disappear with her wand. It didn't work. Why do you think Angela's not too happy right now? What's wrong in this story? Angela's not happy because she had to wear what? A jacket. And a jacket doesn't fit into her costume. Bernadette is really warm in that bunny suit. She has on her jacket, but it's underneath. So when Angela was 5, she wanted to be a rabbit. Remember who was a rabbit last year? Her big sister. But on Halloween night, it rained. I'm not wearing a raincoat, said Angela. Bernadette doesn't have to wear a raincoat because her witch hat and her cape were plastic. Mama sighed. All right, you can carry my umbrella. Looking at the pictures, you can already tell it didn't work out, did it? Angela felt proud carrying Mama's umbrella, but she couldn't see where she was going. She tripped and fell into a puddle. Her fur got muddy, her tail tore off. She did not look adorable at all. Of course, the mud didn't show on Bernadette's black cape, and the rain made her hair more stringy and witch-like. It sounds like Angela is really jealous of her big sister. So they went to Miss Walker's house just like they did every year. Goodness gracious me, said Mrs. Walker. You're just about the scariest thing I've ever seen. Come in here and show Albert. Albert was Mrs. Walker's cat. Mrs. Walker asked Angela to wait outside. You're a wonderful rat, but I'm afraid Albert doesn't like rats, she said. I am not a rat, said Angela. She didn't say thank you when Miss Walker gave her a candy apple either. Why did Miss Walker think she was a rat? Do you remember why she would be this color? Kind of brownish looking, kind of dirty looking? Because she fell in that mud puddle. Oh, poor Angela. Well, what do you think Angela wanted to be the next year? Yep, a witch. When Angela was 6, she wanted to wear the witch hat and cape. She practiced putting on makeup for days until she got it just right. On Halloween night, she looked so evil that she was almost afraid to look in the mirror. I like your black lips and your green warts, Angela's father said. You look really ugly. But Bernadette looked beautiful. She was a gypsy. She wore Mama's gold earrings and a silk scarf. What could go wrong on this Halloween night? Right? She tried to be the fairy, and she couldn't. Remember, it was so cold. Nobody really knew who she was in her costume. She tried to be the rabbit, and then she fell in the mud puddle, and Miss Walker thought she was a rat. Well, I see she's wearing the witch costume. And remember, if it rains, it's plastic, so it's okay. It looks like it would be a warm costume. And they went out trick-or-treating. You look like a real gypsy, said Mrs. Walker. Can you dance for us? So Bernadette banged on her tambourine and turned around twice for Mrs. Walker and for Albert. For that, she got a chocolate bar and a candy apple. Angela cast a wicked spell on Mrs. Walker and Bernadette. Then she rode her broomstick home as fast as she could in the dark. I kind of think that Angela doesn't like that Bernadette's getting all the attention. Do you ever feel that way sometimes? Someone else in your family gets all the attention. You don't feel like you're being noticed. I think that's how Angela feels. So, of course, what do you think Angela wanted to wear the next year? She wanted to wear Bernadette's gypsy costume. But guess what? It didn't fit. She just didn't look like a gypsy. She was tired of being a copycat anyways. So Angela decided to make her own costume. What do you think she was going to be for Halloween this year, since she decided to make her own costume? She cut 2 holes in a white sheet and put it over her head. She colored her eyes black with makeup. She looked at herself in the mirror. She looked too plain. How's she going to dress up her costume? She's a ghost. I wonder what she's going to do. So Angela put on a straw hat with a big red flower. She rubbed pink rouge on her cheeks, and she glued glitter around her eye holes. She worked on her ghost costume until she looked just right. She made her own costume. When Bernadette saw her, she wanted to be a ghost too. So all these times, Angela has been copying what Bernadette always was, but it never seemed to work out. Now Bernadette wants to copy what Angela is. Do you think she's going to do it? But when Halloween night came, Bernadette could not be a ghost after all. Do you know why? She had chicken pox. So Angela went trick-or-treating with her friend, Gerald Schwartz. Gerald was a TV. A TV. Can you imagine being a TV for your costume? He and Angela went to all the houses in the neighborhood, and they saved Mrs. Walker's for last. Trick or treat, they yelled. Mrs. Walker opened the door. Oh my, she cried. Albert, it's a ghost. A ghost and a TV. Angela shouted, boo, as loudly as she could. She jumped through the doorway so quickly that Albert, remember Albert the cat, ran away. Look at Albert. He is gone. You are the most stylish ghost I've ever seen. I love your costume, she said to Angela. I love your candy apples, Angela said. Have two then, said Mrs. Walker. Gerald ate both of his candy apples on the way home, but Angela only ate one. Wonder what she's going to do with that other candy apple. Look what she did with it. Do you see what she did with it? She saved the other one to take home to Bernadette. How nice of her to do that. This whole story, she and Bernadette really struggled with being sisters and being friends and kind of feeling okay on Halloween. But this year, even though Bernadette was sick, they all got along. And Angela was such a good sport on Halloween that she even brought Bernadette home a candy apple from her favorite place, Mrs. Walker's house. I love this story. I hope you did too. You can get both of these books, The Costume Copycat and Then Comes Halloween. You can get both of them at your library. I've also linked the links to the Amazon account down in the comment section. So have a great rest of your day. Enjoy Halloween, and I will see you tomorrow with some more stories to share.